Okay, friends, we are live. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I have an incredible guest with me today, and I'm super excited to introduce you guys to this gentleman because he has not only changed my life, but my entire family's future. So stay tuned. I want to introduce you to this incredible man. But first, welcome to Shift Happens. Guys, here's the deal in life, when shift happens, more often than not, shift will happen. And you can either shift in the right direction or the wrong direction. So, what's the purpose of this show? I want to bring people here that have made incredible shifts in their life to show you on how you can shift in the right direction. Because if you're on your way to the wrong direction, let's make a turn and shift in the right direction. So, I interview people weekly on Wednesdays from my company that I'm helping launch. I'm helping launch a global women's brand on helping people not only feel good, but do good. So I'm super excited about introducing a gentleman who actually launched this entire company with a vision of changing the world with love. I don't know about you, but when a man says that, I'm like, wait, what? What are you saying? You don't want to conquer the world. You want to change the world and you want to do it with love. So that's what made me lean in and join this incredible company. And he's here today to say hello. Is it this way? There we go. He's here today to say hello. And I'm going to
Hello,
do
everyone.
my little interview with him and ask him some questions. But first, Ken, can you say hi and introduce yourself and just share a little bit about you?
Oh my gosh, yes. Hi, my name is Ken Porter, and I'm just an average guy that has had an incredible life. I married very, very well almost 40 years ago, and that makes a big difference, right? It's coming close on 40
Yes.
years. Yep, I've got seven beautiful children, and along with my wife, they're the light of my life. That they're what gets me up in the morning and sends me to bed. Five grandchildren. Hey, get on the screen, five. And
Oh,
I just love them to pieces. It's just actually so much fun. So that's a little bit about me. I grew up here's a little tidbit. If any of you have ever seen Napoleon Dynamite, the movie, that was my hometown.
oh,
And yeah, those were not actors. And let me tell you something. I always carried tater tots in my pocket. That was like, to me, that was a documentary. It's like, why is everybody
what?
laughing?
That's
Anyway,
hilarious.
yeah, just a small town farm boy from a little community, and just life's been great so far.
Man, that is beautiful. It's interesting because people see, someone like you, like this very successful, everyone defines success differently. And I have a feeling your definition of success is probably similar to mine. But they see people and they're like, wow, they must have just come from this type of life. And sometimes we don't. Sometimes we come from a small town and we're just the girl next door, just the boy next door with a big vision. And one of the cool things is when I met Ken, I was not the person you see today. Can you believe I'm even doing the show? Like,
It's
what's
I,
happening?
to me, you've always been a superstar because that's ever since I've known you.
So Ken sees the good in people, which is amazing. One of the things I love about you. So when I first joined this brand, I was like, I'll never get on camera. I don't want to talk in front of anyone. I'm a behind the scenes person. I just want to help lift other people up. And that's one of the cool things is you can do that here. And then you can also grow and you can also do the things that you wanted to do and help just bring people together to do the same. So I'm a living proof that you can actually change the things in your life that you want to change and you can shift in the right direction when you have the right community. So one of the things, I have a couple of things I want to talk about today is, can love really change the world? And I know some people do feel it can change the world and some people don't feel that it can change the world, but I've had seen living proof of how love can really change the world, and just a tiny bit of love spreads, right? So one of the one of the videos I watched very early on when I joined Savvy is you were talking about, why you started this brand, what your vision for this brand was. And you described changing the world with love. And how you described that was a mother's love. You said a love from a mama will change everything. And when I heard you say that, of course, I'm crying. I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. So whether it's biological, whether you're taking care of someone, whether you're being a friendly neighbor, you can change the world by loving somebody. So I have a feeling that was a big push for this vision of the brand. So could you share with everyone really what your vision was and what that really means to you?
Oh heck yes, I'd love to do that anytime. Here's the thing. My alarm's going off now. Isn't that perfect? So here's
Oh,
the thing about this. When I say a mom's love could say anything, I also want to say anybody can share and hold a mom's love. A mom's love is the kind of love that always puts herself second.
Mm,
It's others first, particularly her children. But you can have a mother's love not just to your own children. You can have a mother's love to other human beings. And
yeah.
not everybody knows this. I mean, I think it should be something that's just common known in the human experience that you receive what you give. And I don't
Mm,
like to turn love on its head because it's exactly the opposite. Because love expects nothing in return. The truest form of love expects nothing in return.
mm,
Loving someone, loving everyone has its own form of payback. It just feels good. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when you're angry or you don't like
mm,
someone, they
mm,
may or may not know you don't like them, but
mhm.
you don't feel good. And
Yeah.
so, I recommend love just to make yourself feel better, first of all, and then the more powerful benefits to help them feel better. Right? I watch. We live in a strong arm world,
Mm,
and where power and force and whoever's got the most advantage, whatever life is, can only find happiness when they get what they want,
mm,
right? They
yeah.
define happiness as I get what I want. And I will tell you, there's plenty of miserable people that get what they want. And sometimes
Oh,
oh, you're right, they just get what they want, but they're miserable all the time. And anytime they don't get even the littlest thing what they want, they're miserable, which really means that you've put everything and every circumstance outside of your control in charge of your happiness. What a
ooh,
terrible thing. What a terrible thing. And so to me, love and the power particularly, I always use my mom as my greatest example of love because I've never met the likes of that. It was my first introduction to life. And my mom loved me, but she also loved life. And
mm,
so she taught me that hey, the ducks and the chickens on my farm, they loved me. They just couldn't express it. I mean, she just taught that love was the way of the world, and that's what
mm,
we do with each other. And when we live in that kind of, some people say that's kumbaya, that's a naive environment. And I'm like, yeah, and I love it, right? And so, uh, for me, there's nothing more powerful than a woman's love. It's not the force of an army.
mm,
It's not the force of, someone that's got a lot of money and power who wants to exert control over you. It's not even the force of perhaps a neighbor or anyone in your life who who doesn't show you love and kindness. That's not the ultimate force. We actually have the power
mm,
to to not let those things harm us by showing love back in the face of their less than love towards us. And so I just really want people to recognize and understand that, that mama's love is really the thing the world misses more than anything else. If there's anything we can teach and show, people talk about poverty, the problems of the world. And so there are a lot of problems in this world, right? There's poverty in the world. There's health problems in the world. There's political problems. There's so many problems, and none of us can solve all those problems. But what's interesting is as I've traveled the world a lot, and I've been, gosh, over 80 countries around the world for extended periods of time. I've been amongst the most wealthy people. I've been amongst some of the deepest poverty you've ever seen. And what I've actually found is the capacity to find happiness and joy exists in both of those societies almost equally as much. So
mhm,
it's not the power, it's not the wealth, it's not the money, it's not the poverty, it's not the sicknesses, it's not the political circumstances. It's a choice.
mm,
And when I grow up amongst people who've learned from an early age um, that they're loved and that they have value and that they're worthy of happiness at all times and all places, and that we can rise above the anger, the bitterness, the hate, all those things around us, and those things can roll right off of us, and that we can treat people in a way that every time they meet our little smiling faces, they can feel a little bit better even if they did something wrong,
yeah.
and particularly if they did something wrong. Because I will tell you, we can spend a lifetime. It's so easy to find. You find those little pictures that says find the jar, hidden jar in the picture,
Yeah.
find the mug. Well, if we're trying to look for like bad in
Mm,
people or weakness in people or things they do wrong, They don't need no hidden pictures.
No.
It's all over. We can see it obvious. We don't need to be experts at finding fault in other people. We need to be experts at seeing the good in other people. That's what they need. And we can be the agents for that in their lives. We can be that person that pops into their life for just a minute and points out to themselves. Here's the amazing thing
We can be
inside
love
you.
agents. Ken,
We can be love
I want to be a
agents.
love agent. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Exactly right.
This is
Exactly
so
right. And, I think that's beautiful because, to be able to step into people's lives and to help them identify, because there's something about society where people themselves don't love themselves like
good.
they should.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes someone outside of themselves to point out the good in them
Yes. A lot.
before they can see it, right?
Yes.
And I think that's our highest calling in life. I think so. And so why not form a business, or why not form your life around sharing and spreading that?
Mm.
And I'm talking to, all religions. I'm
Yeah.
talking to the non-religious. I'm talking to human beings. If you're a
Yes.
human being, heck, if you're a pet, you
Yes.
know, you need to feel love. And I think that's our gift we all bring to humanity, whether we do a giant business or a small business, whether we're rich or poor. Our engagement with each other needs to be love filled. And I'm not talking about the fake kind of love where you like pretend. But I'm saying, okay, it's okay to pretend for a moment if you need to do that before you start feeling it yourself, and it starts becoming natural. And you just look at people like, my gosh, I want to give you a hug. I don't
Yeah.
even know your name, right? And I think, driving all the time, I'll be at a stoplight and see, somebody in the car next to me. And they can be a grandpa, a grandma, they can be a big, strong Brutus, or they can be a wimpy little somebody like me. And I can look over and think, man, I just wish I knew you. I'd love to give you a hug. I just love you. And days are fun when we don't have to carry that heavy rock of bitterness and anger and all of those things towards humanity. So, anyway, Savvy was born, this company. Um, we have women's apparel. That's what we do. We're excited. It's a fun
Good
product
apparel.
line,
Good stuff.
right? But we really did it for a different reason, and it's to bring people together and help them find a community of people that love and accept them. And that's the most powerful community in the world. And that's really what we're trying to do. And we do it imperfectly, but man, I love strivers. I
Yeah.
love you. You pick a life purpose, and it can be, it doesn't have to be, I need to invent the next something so people know my name. I
No.
tell you what, I'd rather live and die anonymously, and have my heart beating with love, even when it stopped beating with anything else. Because the only belief I have is that we carry forward who we are,
Yeah.
and who we become, and the journey to become doesn't stop. That's a Ken Porterism. Is I think our role is to become, and our role is to learn to love.
I have so many notes, Ken. This is crazy. This is guys. So if you're watching live, let me know if you're watching the live and where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, let me know replay, because I'm going to go back and answer all the questions. You've got a lot of people here going, I love you. I love this company. This is why I'm here. Savvy's everything. Hello. Hello, Ken. You're an incredible leader, Ken. And one of the reasons why is you lead with love and you lead with humility, not because, oh, I'm humble, because that's not humility, right? You lead with the passion and purpose of loving people. And guys, here's the crazy thing. We're talking about Ken Porter has launched, founder of a clothing brand, but it's not about clothes. It's about loving people. It's about helping people. This is my mission statement, Ken. I don't know if you know this or not, but my mission statement with this company statement is to help people heal, grow, and pay it forward. I just happen to do it through the vehicle of clothing, right?
I
So
love it.
that's my vehicle to love on people. And this company isn't all about the way you look. It's look good, feel good, so you can do good. And the basis of this company is love. And one of the cool things, if you guys watch my other shows I do with Matt, we talk about the happiness advantage. This gentleman right here is the one that suggested for us to read it, because it really, happiness comes first. So if you're looking for success, if you're looking for love, if you're looking for, just the right job and the right husband and the right place in the picket fence, guys, happiness comes first. The most successful people in life are not successful They didn't find happiness after they found success.
Correct.
Ken just spoke a minute ago about he's met some of the most wealthy people in the world and also the most poverty level people in the world. And they had the same amount of love, right? Same amount of happiness. So it's not the things in the world, it's the people. It's the people you surround yourself with. I'm going to close the door really quick because my kids will be loud. 1 second, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But getting together with a community can not only change your life. I want you guys to lean in. Please lean in. If you're watching this and you're going, but I don't feel loved. I don't have that love. I didn't have that childhood. I don't have those friends. I need you to lean into this because there's a lot of people here just like you. And they've never felt that kind of love before, but they do now. Why? Because they're surrounded by people who deeply believe that love will change the world, who deeply believe that you can sit at our table, who deeply believe that everyone fits in, no matter age, size, color, race, all the things. You belong here. We're here for humanity. We're not here for, oh, you have to fit in this box. We actually like when you don't fit in a box. I don't fit in a box. I'm like, whoa, I belong here. It's perfect. So people are really, are you resonating with this? Put a love in the chat if you're resonating with this. Because we're on a big mission and we need your help. So, Ken, I am so honored to be in this company with you. And it's been a blessing to watch all of this. And I love the premise of why you started this brand. And I know we're going lots of different cool places. We've got a lot. We're just getting started. So if you are interested, if you're watching this going, who the heck are these people? What are you talking about? Make sure you message in the chat. I'm interested, and I'll get back with you and share a little more about this brand and how we really are going to change the world. One of the things I did want to talk about, Ken, is a lot of things about you is different, but in a good way. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh gosh, this gentleman is so different, right? And one of the things is you are a big promoter on being a finisher. And when we were in Utah and you told a story about be a finisher. And guys, if you watch previous shows or seen some of my posts, I talk about this. And there's actually a part of your brain that every time you set a goal and you don't reach it, it's in the subcutaneous part of your brain. It's saying, I am not a finisher. I didn't finish it again. So you have all these things that you commit to. We all do this. I'm not saying I don't. We all do this. You commit to it and then you don't finish it. And it's actually telling your brain that I'm not a finisher and I'm not going to complete this. So I encourage people to make small goals, make a list and check them off. Whether it's brushing your teeth, putting on your clothes, going to the gym, drinking water, I don't know, something, because it's going to retrain your brain to say, I am a finisher. So Ken, can you share a little bit about your vision on what the importance of being a finisher is? How did you become a finisher? Because people fascinate me. I'm like, what makes someone be a finisher and not? Do you have any advice on this?
I certainly do. I'd first want to say that, every one of us are born to be creators.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how many people on this are mamas, but you create the greatest thing ever created. And outside of that great creation, we're all creators, and whether we know it or not. And creativity, just so you know, the creative process is always messy and it's always destructive to actually what was or what can be. And so the process of creation breaks down before it rebuilds. It always does. That's how there's always some form of breakdown to rebuild. And so the biggest damage to creation is just not finishing. It's
Write that down,
it's
people.
it is. It's the abortive process to accomplishing a creative idea is the biggest danger. And and so I think all of us are born with ideas and visions and a belief and a desire, and we're actually designed to accomplish those things. But
Mm,
we're not designed to accomplish those things without going through significant personal growth and
mm,
personal development and bumping up against the things we're weak at and bumping up against other humanity. That some of those are encouragers and some of those are actually pull downers. And so to actually bump into all of those is part of the educated process of growth. And so when we run into obstacles, we should really see them for what they are, as their opportunities. And I know that's overstated and overused, but in my life, all things that I've been able to accomplish that brought me great joy required Ken Porter to learn and grow and become more. That's still true today, right? The goals I'm striving for today, or I'm sorry, the goals for tomorrow, the Ken Porter of today is not going to get them. but I know how to get my goals because I've learned the process of internal inside me saying, okay, I'm not there. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? And I'm always seeking to grow past what I'm missing. And so once you know that little secret, there's a lot of words out there you can call it. Some people say, well, if you make a mistake, you want to stop doing the mistake. You want to do something right. Some religions call it repentance. It's like, oh, don't do that anymore. Do this. It's going to have a better outcome. Some places call it change. Some people call it growth. Some people call it, there's all kinds of names for it, but it's the same dynamic. And it's actually a gift to each one of us that we're not stuck, that we have the capacity to make a mistake or to do something wrong or to not see clearly and make a choice and move forward a little bit. That kind of feels the boundaries and see how the world responds and see how the people react. And if they react poorly, you go, oh, okay, I got to do something a little bit differently, right?
Yeah.
And it's that process. And so I would say years ago, I had an experience that was really formative on me, and I'm really thankful to have had it when I was in my youth. At this point, remember now I say youth, that could mean I was like 40 years old.
Oh,
This,
you're still 40. Yeah.
I'm still 40. So in this youth, I was in my early 20s, and I took a summer job. And the recruiter told me I was going to make $30,000 or $40,000 during the summer for going out knocking on doors and selling books and tapes door to door throughout Dallas, Texas area. That's where I was at. And so I $30,000 or $40,000. I didn't have much money, and I wanted to pay for my next year's schooling. So I'm like, oh, I don't care. The work can't be that hard. 40 grand is a ton. This is a long time ago. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, bam, I'm going out there. And when we go to the big kickoff convention, these guys recruited students from colleges all over the West. And so when I get the kickoff convention, there's like 2,000 students in this big auditorium, and they hadn't even told us where we're going. When we got there, they just says, okay, show up with a bag and a backpack of clothes, and we'll tell you when you get there where you're going. So they had this motivational speaker, and the motivational speakers, he wasn't part of the company. Y'all probably know a guy named Zig Ziglar.
Oh,
I don't know if that name was. That's who the speaker was. And Zig Ziglar stood up and he says, "Now I know they probably all told you you're going to make $30,000 or $40,000. So that means a few of you are going to make 80, and the rest of you are going to make like 3,000 or 4,000." He says, "I don't know which one you are, and you don't either." He says, "So let me tell you. Let me shift your mind right now. I don't care whether you make the money you thought you were going to make or not. If you don't make it, it's just because you're going to grow. So you're going to make it now or make it later. If you let this experience grow you, you're going to make it later. If you need growing, you're not going to make it now, but make it later." So he just really went on. Some of you learned to work on a farm where you got up at 5 a.m. and you work 14-hour days. You know how to work like crazy. You know how to work in the heat. And he says, you guys might do well. Some of you like soft, he's talking about me. Some of you soft kids going to come out and think it's easy work, and you're going to find out it's not. You're not prepared for success. He says, but let me give you one piece of advice, and then I'm going to ask you for a promise. He says, the only advice I can give that is true 100% of the time is don't quit. He says, because if you quit, you're going to rob yourself of the education and learning you need to succeed in the next venture. That's number one. And number two, you're going to trigger something in your mind. You actually carve a pathway that says Ken Porter can't finish. And so the next time you start of it, somebody approaches you with an opportunity, and opportunity comes to you. Even if you say yes, there's that real part of you that matters, says, I don't really believe I will. I don't believe I can. So you're fear-based before you start. You're fear-based even when you start. And so he says that fear-based that says I can't do it is the greatest danger you have to overcome. And if you can do that, like when you're 3 and 5, and 7 and 9 and 14, he says, do it now. He says, but if that now has to be when you're 70, still do it. Finish what you start. Begin a process, a chain, a journey of piling finishings on top of each other. And he says, so here's what I want. You're all going to go to different places. I want all of you to stand up. I'm going to challenge you. This is a 16 weeks long summer period. I want to challenge every one of you, no matter where you're assigned or where you're going, to right now promise me you're going to finish those 16 weeks.
Oh no, come back to us.
Yeah. So all 2,000 people, he says, will you finish? And they're like, I will finish. Just look at the guy next to you. I will finish. You know, all these young kids are like, I will finish, you know.
Yes.
And and after that event, you know, um, after that event, then they came out and says, okay, here's where you're going. So they said, okay, you and 125 other people going to Dallas, Texas. Jump in your car, drive to Dallas, meet at the Holiday Inn at this address. We're like, okay. So we all drove out individually. We get the Holiday Inn, and he said, okay, great. The news is we all have rooms at Holiday Inn for 3 days. The company paid for 3 days. So at the end of 3 days, you all have to find a place to live somewhere. So go knock on doors
Oh my
and
gosh.
tell people you're a college student, you're looking to sell stuff for summer, you don't have any money.
Oh my
Can I
god.
live with you? And
Can you
that's what we
imagine
had.
having to do that, guys? This is crazy.
Yeah, I did. So I found a little couple, and after I probably knocked 250 to 300 doors, I was on my second day, and finally somebody looked at me like this little lady with compassion, like, well, let me talk to my husband, you
Oh,
know. And so I come in, and it's the weirdest thing. The guy says, you can live with me, but I have one rule. I says, what's that? He says, you have to play Trivial Pursuit with me every night. That was
what?
the weirdest thing. It was like,
I thought it was gonna be
that's
like,
it.
"Don't date
Yeah.
my daughter," or something,
Yeah,
like
we did. Well, what's
okay.
funny, he had every card memorized. He sat in the bathroom, he memorized every card every day. So no one ever came close to winning that game. And it was just
Oh,
his way of self-validation, right?
yeah.
He finished what he started,
Yeah.
and we were parts of his game. Anyway, we lived there. And so then at the end of those 3 days, we went back to that Holiday Inn, or that little hotel. And when we got back there, there was not 125, there's about 75.
Wow.
50 of them had gotten their cars and gone home.
Yeah.
50 people said, I will finish.
I will finish my
Yep. And then you know, about we met every single week. And when we got out there, we started knocking doors, and not many people actually want our books and tapes.
Mhm.
And man, a Texas summer is hot.
Yeah.
And Texas is full of nice people, but some of them don't like strangers walking up on their door and they slam the door.
Yeah.
Right? There's every circumstance and reason presents itself
Mm.
why this is dumb,
Mhm.
why it'd be smart to go back home. The only valid reason to stay there. When it turns out that, you know, I was definitely one of those that didn't even make 3,000. I had to write home, say, send me money so I can
Oh.
finish what I started.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy? Send me money. So I didn't. So, but I stayed. There's one reason I stay is just because I promised I'd stay. I promised that man. I promised myself. I promised other people I would finish what I started. And so I finished the summer. Uh, oh, by the way, myself and four people finished this summer. Out of 125, four people finished this
That's
summer. It was
crazy.
a brutal year for the company. Their product hadn't been proven in that market. It was a brutal year for them. And four people finished the summer. The rest went home. And they all had great reasons to go home. They certainly appeared to be the smarter ones to
Mm.
go home. Those left were just, can't we see reality? Can't you guys understand? Or we're the dumb ones. But we made a commitment to ourselves, particularly to finish, and I'm so thankful I did, because at the end of that summer I went home and I had to get a job so I could pay for college. But over a lifetime of seeing how that summer affected my ability, one thing I know about me: if I start something, I can finish. If someone says, hey, you know, here's an opportunity and all it takes is hard work and here's the potential, the day I start, I actually know I'm going to reach that potential mark. I can almost start counting that future success today. Not because I'm brilliant or smart or have the skill set yet, but because I already know I have the most important life attribute. It's like, I don't quit. I
Mhm.
just keep going. I just keep going. I keep going. And so, you know, here we are a bunch of years later. Facebook has made it so that I can look up those people that finished.
Oh. Oh.
I couldn't look up every person. I had a list of who was there. I couldn't find them all, but I could find most of them. And what I really did found is those four that finished, every single one of those four, I know it's Facebook, everybody's life looks amazing, but all of those four were highly financially successful, like insanely financially successful.
Wow.
Uh, all of those four appear to have good lives, good marriages, good families, not the fake kind where you're standing in front of a Lambo and,
Yeah.
I always tell yeah, Lamborghinis and bikinis, not that kind.
That's not success. At least not in my opinion.
Yeah, but the real kind,
Yeah.
right? And I looked up a lot of others, and what the appearance was is that that choice to quit had followed them and nagged them
Mm.
throughout their life because it always follows you until you learn to grow past it. And so I said, why not grow past it when you're 13 or 17 or 21? Why wait a lifetime to grow past it? Maybe why come and leave this life still having not learned
Wow.
that you need to learn. We each need to learn and gain that confidence that only comes from doing. And by the way, remember, I did not have success. I didn't work 16 weeks for success. I never had financial success,
Mm.
but I had the more important success of learning that I can finish what I start. And that's the success that I really train people is the true measure of success. Your capacity to find confidence and belief in your ability to achieve a goal. That simple life success, when you start something, you know you can finish it. When you set a goal, you actually know you can get there. You don't know the journey to get there, but you know that whatever the journey is, you're down for it, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the variables in the middle, because every journey is not a straight line, it's full of variables. But it doesn't matter because I know I'm down to learn and grow and weave through the obstacles, climb over it, climb under it, break it apart, whatever it is. And I think that life skill brings a lot of joy because there's self confidence even comes through that process. And so I want to teach it, and I think what we all need is encouragers who love us forward. And I think that's what I've learned through that is every person's capable of that. I was fortunate enough to be taught at an early age that you can do anything. My parents believed me, over believed in me, even though there's no such thing. Even when I didn't deserve it, it's not like I showed all those things early on. I quit a lot of things in my youth, going backwards, but I had the seeds of good examples that were that. And I think for us, our most important duty is to be that good example for each other and for our children. Be a finisher to teach people around us. You can be not teach our perfection,
Mm.
not teach
None
any
of us
kind
are
of
perfect.
perfection. No,
You're never,
you
because
can't
that's
teach
you're gonna teach
that.
failure because you're never
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah.
never can. And besides that, I don't even know if I want to be. It's kind of fun being human.
Yeah.
It's not even a goal set for me. I think my goal set is just to love people through their imperfections and
Mm.
actually love the process and the journey of growing. And you can't grow if you're perfect.
Mm-mm.
You can't grow if you're perfect. And anyway, I just want the listeners to know I can't see them, I don't know them, but I want to encourage you and let
Yes.
you know that regardless of where you've been in the past, that's actually a beautiful stepping stone to the future. Regardless of whether you think you're good at something or not, I'm telling you, you're good. It's just an embryo and you can't see it yet. You have to get pregnant with that little thing and
Mm.
grow it. And eventually you're going to say, wow, I'm really good at this, whatever it is. And, you know, come, come join us in the journey to just, grow ourselves, to love other people through. And I'll tell you, it's a fun community to be part of,
Yes.
right? It's fun because you're amongst friends the minute you step in, and they don't care where you've been. They don't care. Tell those stories. Tell those stories. We'll either laugh with you, we'll cry with you, but it doesn't matter. On the end, we're going to love up on you. And so, really, here's what we're doing. That's my mission goal throughout life, and I'm honored to be able to share it. When you asked me to share this, I was so
Oh, I
honored.
know. I was like, "Ken, can you share this?" So, guys, I am so full of goosebumps right now. There are so many comments, Ken, that I'm gonna have to go back and or get to, not have to go back and just praise people for encouraging because this is one of the most beautiful stories. And hearing it again just solidifies you are going to go through really hard things in life and you're not going to do it well. And that's okay. You
It's
have
okay.
to learn to not quit. If you are someone, so listen, guys, listen, Linda, listen up. If you're someone who has always started but never finished, I want you to lean in, because in order to break the chain, Ken Porter in the flesh here, letting you know, in order to break that chain, you have to finish something, right? You're constantly telling your brain that you're not a finisher. Let's scratch the tape. Let's end that today. I want you to commit in the chat that you're going to end it today and say, I'm going to be a finisher. And I want you to finish that, right? I want you to start something and actually finish it. I love what you said here. It's a choice to quit. It's a choice to quit, right? And if you keep quitting, you're not going to be able to grow from it. So how do you fix it? You don't quit. And then what happens? Your brain says, I'm not a quitter. I'm a finisher. And then the next thing you start, you finish it. And the next thing you start, you finish it. That helps fill a hole that's inside of you that's been sitting there probably for a long time. And you'll fill that hole. And I'm telling you, the way you feel, unmeasurable. You can conquer the world, and you can conquer that hard thing that's going to come next, because it's going to come next, right, Ken? The hard
Yeah,
things are going to
right.
come next, and you're going to be able to conquer that with a lot more confidence. And if you do choose to join us, which I think everyone should, because here's the deal, you're going to grow. You're going to have friends. You're going to have a community. And you have someone like Ken Porter leading this entire company. And as you can tell, he leads with love, and he leads with perseverance. He leads with drive, and he leads with wanting to help people grow. So use this as a gift and an opportunity. If you're going through hard times right now, this is your gift, and it's your opportunity to grow, not only yourself, but also help other people grow. So I am so excited. So I'm getting so many comments here. People just are, I'm going to be a finisher. I'm going to be a finisher. And just keep going. Oh, this is beautiful, guys. If you have had value from this, go ahead and say thank you. Ken is a very busy man, and I got him, oh gosh, it's 11:11. I got him for more time. I was like, I got him for 30 minutes. I have time with him now. So just say thank you for building this brand. And I want to personally say thank you, Ken, because I seriously 100% know that I would not be the woman I am today if it wasn't for joining this brand. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I refused to get on camera, do all these things until Savvy gave me the opportunity to say, use this as a gift. What if you were able to change your life? What if you were able to be home with your kids? Guys, I had 7 babysitters on rotation watching my children. I'm home with my kids today. I'm able to fulfill my purpose of helping women do the same. So, Ken, thank you for working
Thank
so
you.
hard, because I know you've
I'm
had a lot
honored.
of sleepless nights, and you're a finisher, and I thank you for that.
I'm honored. Thank you. And I wish I could see everyone that's listening or everyone that will listen and just see you in the eyes. And I mean, really see you in your eyes, because people are beautiful. Humanity is amazing. And so are each one of you. So thank you. All
You're
right.
amazing.
Well,
Oh,
that,
that's why I love
all
you.
right.
I love you so much.
All
So
right.
I always like to end the show, guys, letting you know today, and I want you to listen, today could be the day that you make shift happen. So go out into the world, make shift happen, change someone's life, share this with someone. Because I know that I know you know someone that needs to hear this. So share this with someone, tag someone, and let them know they're beautiful and they're wonderfully made, and they too can change your life and the world. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Say bye to Ken. I will see you next week on another episode of Shift Happens, and I'll have another special guest. So hope you guys have a
Okay.
great
Thanks.
Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.